There we go. Hold on just a second, guys. We've had to, sorry, make everybody dizzy and sick here. That's not terrible. Yeah, let's switch back, baby. So we'll give everybody a minute. Wow, I've got some flyaways going on. Yeah, well, sorry, y'all. You're gonna be a little bit crooked. It's okay. It'll be fine. There we go. Hey, Goldshaw, how's it going? Hey, y'all. Sullivan Family Homestead here from forever and a million miles away, apparently. It's been a really long time since we've done a live stream. So we thought we'd come on here and say hello and give everybody an update, and more importantly, let you know we're still alive and kicking. So it's been a really, really long time since we've done a live stream. As you can see, I've got everybody with me, and even Hannah has decided that she's willing to come into the live chat for tonight, so that's kind of cool. That doesn't ever happen. And of course, usually Matthew's not here either. He's usually out doing his thing and generally out with the fire department. But since this is Sunday evening and not the time we would have normally done live streams, he's able to be with us. So we've been out working today, and so we're a bit tired. We have a fan going over here, so just in case. Hey, Incense Shop, thank you so much for stopping by. You have a good night too. Thanks. So, what have we been up to? Hey, Rose, how's it going? That's not what we've been up to. But what we have been up to is a whole lot of working hard. Not really a hardly working, but definitely a working hard quite a bit of the time. We've actually been pretty busy, haven't we? So, this evening we have built a couple of trellis, and by we I mean he. And we planted some things, meaning I planted some things. You didn't plant anything today, did you? No, it was all me. Oh. We've had a lot of stuff going on. We've been working on a lot of stuff. So I guess let's start with, gosh, the last time we were on a live stream was, it's been a couple of months, friends. It's been a couple of months. I'm really sorry about that. Rose's internet isn't working right now. That's not very good. We actually changed our internet providers. So that's one thing that's changed for us as far as you guys are concerned. I'm actually hoping that buffering is on your end, Rose, and not on everybody's end, because it's quite possible that it's on everybody's end. Hey, Miss Angie, how's it going? We actually gave AT&T the boot. Our internet plan here started out as one of those bundles, you know, your phone, your internet, and television, and we really don't watch that much television, so that was kind of a waste. And we really didn't use the phone that much either. The only people who called our landline were mostly telemarketers. And, you know, it's kind of that whole, like, you know, unless you're Ed McMahon, don't call, because we found Jesus and we don't have any money to buy anything. So, you know, we know who we're voting for type of thing. You've seen that little sign. So it was kind of ridiculous for us to have it. And it started out as a good plan. It was, you know, $110 a month for all of it. And then it steadily worked its way up to $160 a month, which is just ridiculous. So we gave them the boot, and because of that, Hannah got a new cell phone, which she's super thrilled about most of the time. And because out here, you know, she has to be able to at least have access to a phone somewhere, and it makes a lot more sense for her to actually just have a cell phone, so that way, no matter where she is, we have access to her and she has access to us. So, and it was a whole lot cheaper. It was an extra like 30 bucks a month to add her phone to our plan and get rid of the AT&T altogether. So that was a change for us. So we're on the phone doing YouTube this way, and it looks like we're doing okay. I've seen a couple of folks say that it's coming through good, so that's a good thing. What else has changed? School is out and summer is in full force, and by that I mean that it is hotter than the seventh gate of hell outside. Um, it's been really, really freaking hot. This one works out in it, so it's not as hot for him, but I don't like being hot. So, I work inside most of the time, and then when I'm outside, it's rarely early morning and later in the evening, and that's pretty much it for me. So, we finagle things around that, and we've taken extra measures for the animals because, of course, they're hot and they're outside and have no choice. So, we've done things for them. The rabbits have a fan in their hutch now, and we trade out the ceramic tiles. We put ceramic tiles in the freezer and trade them out every little bit so that they have basically a little air conditioned room. And that works out really good for them, and it's really important for them because they're Angora rabbits, so they have really long and really warm fur, and so they get hot really easily. So Hannah actually has some news about that you guys don't know much about. You know that I had posted on Instagram some pictures of babies, but they don't really look the same anymore, do they? You want to tell about them?
There's two of them.
Speak up.
There's two of them, and one of them is like a light gray, and then the other one was black when it was born.
Hi, Daniel.
And now it's turning into a dark gray base with black tips.
Uh-huh. Very cool. And so we're still deciding what we're going to do with them, right? Daniel, how's it going? Daniel's from Brazil, so we're international right now. What was that? Sorry, guys. Oh, hold on. There we go. Sandra says we have never had AT&T, but we have friends who are just looking for an optimal time to switch. Yeah, you know, I mean, the prices kept going up. It wasn't like the service was horrible. Though that being said, we actually had a lot of times where we would drop signal and service random times throughout the day, many days out of the week. So it was kind of like we were paying that kind of money for less than the same kind of service we were getting with our cell phones anyway. So it was ridiculous to keep it. So what else? The goats got sheared. And they look totally different short-haired than they do long-haired. We shear them ourselves because you guys know we have 2 Angora goats, which is where you get mohair. I spin the wool, the fleece myself. So, all right, Rose, have a good night. So since we only have 2 of them, we shear them ourselves, and that cuts down on any overhead cost. And they're really good about it. I mean, they stand still pretty good. We're kind of getting into a good routine, and Mr. Handyman here, Tinker Tom, he built me a stand for them. So I'm not leaned over all the time and killing my back. I can stand up and just lean over a little bit, and it works well. And Pia Hess, I haven't seen you in so long. Hello. So the stand works really well, and Matt will stand up at their head with a bucket of grain and some treats and talk to them and love on them, and they just stand there and let me get it done. And of course we use the shearing time as an opportunity to do all the little checking and everything, making sure that they look happy and healthy, and we get their nails trimmed and all that good stuff, so they get a proper grooming. And this year we did something different with that too. Normally I process all of the fiber myself, but this year has been really busy. I've been working outside of the house a couple of days a week at my friend's yarn shop, and then I also have my Stampin' Up! Business, and so I've been doing a lot of classes with that. And so I'm out of the house a lot more often than I had been in the past, and so I haven't had as much time to do spinning. So we went to Morningstar Fiber. It's a fiber mill in North Carolina, and took our fleeces down to them. And so I'm super excited because I've never taken fiber to the mill before, and it is an overhead expense, but I took a lot of other fiber that I had on hand that I've acquired from trades and deals and things like that, and basically it had just been piling up in the closet, and so I took a bunch of it down, and it's all getting processed and spun for me, and then when it comes back it'll be this beautiful natural white colored yarn, and I'll be able to dye it whatever colors I want to, and hopefully Hannah's gonna do some of that with me. She and I did some dyeing with a friend of ours a couple of weeks ago, and it was a whole lot of fun. So Angie says that Stampin' Up! Is fun. Yes, ma'am, it absolutely is. Pia says, still hanging in the city in Berkeley. Actually been cool and foggy close to the bay waters. That's nice. It's been so hot here. All right, Miss Angie, you have a good night, honey. We'll see you later. What else? Matthew's been working hard. Continuously working hard. Always working hard. Hey, getting started. How's it going? Not much new on that front, is there? Same stuff, different day. You want to talk about fire stuff? No? He's still doing his fire thing. I don't want to say it like thing, you know, but he's still in the fire department. He still goes on calls and things like that. They actually had one not too long ago that was in the neighborhood. And basically it was the coffee maker that got left on.
Yep.
It's something that I've always been terrified of. We always make sure that we have a coffee maker that has a timer on it, you know, that will automatically shut off. But I'm telling you, I have always had a fear of leaving the coffee maker on and it burning the house down, you know, so it's just crazy. But in this case, they did. They left the coffee maker on, and it caught the kitchen on fire.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to talk about it, huh?
No.
Well, thankfully nobody got hurt. No animals were harmed.
No.
They had a cat and 2 dogs.
Cat and 2 dogs, yeah.
Cat and 2 dogs, and they were in hiding. So, yeah, it really is scary. Getting started says, how's y'all? We're doing good. We are busy, always busy. So,
Chickens.
the chickens. Oh gosh, listen. The patience of a saint. Sometimes. They're fairly well sick of me and my chickens. I don't have any new chickens since the last time we've chatted. I think the last time we chatted, I had mentioned that we had done that annual chicken meeting at the co-op, and I had acquired 9 more Easter eggers. We hadn't had Easter eggers before, so this was new for us, but we were really excited. Well, I was really excited about them because they're colored eggs, you know, and we do sell our eggs to people, and so I wanted ultimately to have rainbow colored eggs in the box. You know, I wanted the chocolate Moran eggs, I wanted the regular brown farm eggs, some Easter eggs, the greens, the blues, the pinks. And I'm really wanting some olive eggers too. So I want this nice variety of color in the egg cartons. And so when we went to the co-op for the annual meeting and they had Easter eggers, get the look. He told me no more. Like he honestly thought that was actually going to work. And it didn't really, but it's good. It's good. So the ones that we had in the house, the Brahmas, the white girls, they're fabulous. They're fully integrated with the other laying hens now, and they're doing their thing. And Pip is the hen house honcho. He's taken on his role very, very well. And for those of you guys who don't remember Pip, he's the little egg that we hatched that was from my favorite hen that had gotten killed by the dog, and then our rooster Charlie that had gotten mortally wounded, I guess, trying to protect her. So he's our little orphan Annie. And so anyway, he's doing well. And I saw Vina the Troll Slayer. Hello, darling. Getting started says, chicken Easter eggs are great. The browns lay better, but all eggs are great. Yes. Well, now my our hen house is full of just brown egg layers, just the standard brown egg layers. We've got our Barred Rocks, our Rhode Island Reds, Buff Orpingtons, the Wyandottes, silver and gold lace Wyandottes. And then we have our two Brahma girls. And they're all doing their job. They're all doing good. And then we have now built two other chicken coops, two smaller ones. If you guys remember last spring, a year ago spring, a friend of mine had given us a bunch of chickens. They were blue Morans, lavender Orpingtons. There was a splash Orpington rooster and a Polish rooster. And the Polish rooster pretty well runs the flock. I mean, that's his people, and he does a wonderful job of keeping everybody together. Out of the blue Morans, we had 6 hens. We had 4 blue hens, 4 blue roosters, 2 lavender Orpington hens, a splash Orpington rooster, and then Frankie, the Polish rooster. So we had 12 total chickens. We have since sold 3 of the 4 blue roosters. So we now still have the splash rooster and the 2 lavender hens. And then we have the 1 blue Moran rooster and the 4 blue Moran hens, and then Frankie. And they're all in one coop. And then we have our pair of true Americanas, the black Americanas. They were the ones that we had in the little coop in the greenhouse. Now that the Easter eggers are big enough to have a rooster with them, we've moved them and the true Americanas in together. So I've got them all together. And then Pip has all of the other girls in the big hen house. So we have 3 chicken coops. The big one and 2 small ones. Out of the 2 small ones, they were made by Matthew. He did a fabulous job. The design is very simple, relatively quick and easy. We're actually going to make another one, and don't shake your head. Hey, Jonathan, how's it going? Lone Star Living in the house. We are going to make another one, right? Yes. We are going to make another one, and we're going to do a video of it so that you guys can see how to build them, because this one was made with pallets as the base for the coop itself, and sticks for the perches. And then very minimal supplies for the run itself. This is a really nice coop for those of you who have a small space, who are only able to have a few. Like, this would be a really good urban chicken coop. I mean, this could be a great backyard coop. So, we have ours sitting side by side, so it kind of looks like, you know, Hotel California chicken style. It's really neat. We love it. I think you like it, all right? I'm doing all the talking. I'm trying to prompt you to talk, and you're just sitting here.
So you're doing good at it.
Don't make me do it all. They want to be in here, but they don't want to talk. Go figure. Oh no, Jonathan. You know, I've heard a lot of folks have been having that happen. I don't know if I've noticed that, but shake your head the other way, please. Want to see the coop? Well, unfortunately, we're inside, so, but I'll tell you. Oh, she wants a new, yes, see, shake your head, yes, yes, bobble it this way. Hey, Allie Oakley, how's it going? JD, how's it going? Thanks so much for stopping by. Yeah, see, getting started on Homestead says, yep, 3 coops and it didn't cost a dime. That's the way, man. I'm telling you. So, mostly ours are made with pallets. He actually takes 4 pallets that are basically the same size, and then that's the entire frame. Huh? 3 pallets, sorry. See, this is why he needs to talk, right? Be like, Matthew. Will you please tell us about the coop? Tell us about the coop.
Chicken coops.
Come
No.
on. Okay, he's not going to talk. So, but anyway, he says we'll do a video, so I guess that means we're getting another coop. We knew he'd cave, right? So, yeah, so we've got the coops, and actually we have talked about doing the 3rd coop and putting the blue Morans in there, because I want to start not a real, like, stringent breeding program, but because I want olive eggers, I need to breed my Morans with my Easter eggers, maybe, so I can get my olive eggers. So we do need that 3rd coop that we can use for like a breeding coop or whatever. So anyway, we do need that. Hey, Little Creek, how's it going? See, Pia says thanks, guys. She needs a coop. 5 more coops. Yes! Getting started says 5 more coops. I'm why stop at 5? I mean, let's just do a cool 10. An even dozen? No.
I'm in a condo.
I'm okay with that. I know, I'm so sorry. Listen, life has been so crazy. So, you know, when school got out, this one is going to be a freshman this year. She's going to high school.
In 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks.
4
My
years she's
baby.
out.
My baby is growing up. And you see the difference here, right? I'm going, oh, my baby is growing up. And this one's like, 4 years and she's out.
7 years.
Oh, goodness. But, that being said, I know, Allie, I know. Allie says, a freshman? Wow. I know. It's so sad. I know, yes, I know. But, you know, we had Honors Day right as school was getting out, and little Susie Smarticles here is like top 10 in her class. And so she's got a great start for going into freshman year. She got her schedule for this year, and she's in all honors classes, which is awesome. And so we're hoping that we keep up the momentum of working hard and getting good grades. So we have a career plan already, because apparently these days you do that in middle school. And so she has a career plan. She wants to be a marine biologist. And so, yeah, I mean, she's been super busy with all that stuff and enjoying the summer break for a little bit, and then getting ready to kick it back in a couple of weeks. So there's that. Little Creek says, who knew baby chicks would be so addictive? Amen, sister. Amen. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Listen, here's the funny thing. 2 of the roosters that we sold to one of the guys that he's on the fire department with, and he wants me to raise some babies for him to sell him the babies. So we're going to be getting an incubator. We're going to be getting an incubator, and we're going to be starting a small breeding thing. However, that will have to be 1 extra coop, because I have put my foot down and said that I'm not going to have any more chickens in the house. I said it. Hey, now. I said it this time. Before, I've always said, well, maybe. But they're super cute and fun when they're this big. But then when they're this big, the dust goes everywhere. It's disgusting. And I'm tired of cleaning it up. So if we can figure out a brooder type situation inside one of those little coop things, that's what we're going to do. Hey, Big Bear! Wait, what was that? Getting Started says, I have a 14-year-old daughter and she is a chicken goddess. That's awesome. Miss P.S. says, smart and pretty. Aww. Oh, listen, let me tell you something. We have been so far out of the live stream loop that there was actually a little bit different way of getting the live stream started, and I didn't know that, so we were like 4 or 5 minutes late. Big Bear says, can't wait to see you in October. So, are you talking about us, or are you talking about someone else in the room? Because that's one of the things on my list of things to talk about. We were actually scheduled to be at the Homesteaders of America conference in October, and I was actually supposed to be helping Miss Janet Garman teach a fiber class the Thursday before, but we have rescheduled and moved things and shifted things around, so I believe Miss Janet is still doing a natural yarn dyeing class, but we're not doing the spinning portion of the class. And we're actually not going to be coming this year after all. We really hate that. We were looking forward to it. But with everything going on, with Shyler, our oldest girl, moving again, she came out here and we were excited, and then she moved out west with her husband. So we don't have anybody to stay here with the farm while we're gone. So we're not going to be able to make it. Miss Pia, it was good to see you. Thank you so much. I know, Jason. I'm sorry. Or Robin. whichever one you are. I know, it really does suck. We really, really wanted to, but yeah, it's Jason. Thanks. Yes, exactly. I mean, it makes all the difference when you've got that adult or semi-adult child that you can let take care of things. But Hannah's not quite old enough to stay here by herself, even though she probably is more responsible than most. Well, in fact, oftentimes more responsible than her sister. But, you know. So, alright, Jason, we'll see ya. Oh, wait. That was Jonathan. Sorry, Jonathan. Jonathan's the one leaving. AKA Truck Killer. Yeah. So, you know, it's amazing the things that they do. I thought that having a teenager was like the most horrible thing ever, but it's really not. Once they're adults, that's when it's really tough. It's like all the gray hairs, they're from the big sister. Well, I don't know.
Oh, these.
Oh, these ones. These ones right here are from Hannah. Hey, now. The baby ones. These ones are from Hannah, but the rest are from big sisters. I get it. Okay. Yeah, I get it. 2 big sisters, you know. So, but anyway, we're not going to be at the conference in October, which, like I said, really kind of sucks. But if you guys have not booked, have not bought your tickets, have not booked, have not planned to go, you need to, because that conference is absolutely amazing. Last year we had a phenomenal time. We got to meet people, we got to see people, we got to spend time with friends, and it was absolutely wonderful. There were a lot of things that we learned. It was a great time, and like I said, we're really sad that we can't go this year, but it's just not going to work out for us. So, we will plan to be there for next year, though. I've actually already been talking with Miss Amy about some things that I don't know if I can say anything at all or whatever. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say that Miss Amy and I have been chatting, and I'm planning to be there next year. So, we will plan to be there next year. So, but that being said, plan to be there this year because, yes, Jason has a trapping class that he's doing on Thursday. Josh, the blacksmith, has a class on Thursday. There is a butchery class. There are canning class. There's all kinds of classes. There are all kinds of classes. There are a lot of classes. So, and Jason is saying you will leave with traps and a lot of knowledge. Listen, Jason is so cool that Mr. Joel Salatin himself stood and watched his presentation last year. You will learn some things. So, you need to take that class. You're going to love it. You need it. You need it. Hey, Miss Christy, how's it going? 30 minutes. Yes, he did. I mean, he stood there for a long time. Asked questions and then got with him later. So, you know, and that's just to say it's good stuff. You really want to hear it. Sign up for the class. So, not only are there the classes on Thursday, but I have seen the schedule. It's been posted. Go check out the Homesteaders of America page. You can check it out on their Facebook page too. There are a ton of speakers and demonstrations. Are you out of here?
Yeah.
He's out of here. That's the call.
Yeah.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
So, anyway, to be continued. So, but anyway, there's an awful lot of really cool stuff that's going on at the conference. So, make sure you check out the Homesteaders of America, either their website or their Facebook page to get all of that information. What else are we talking about this evening? I've got things. I have things. I have to write it down. Listen, here's something. Mr. Jason, I will be chatting with Miss Robin about this, because I have been steadily losing my mind, for lack of better explanation, for a while now. But in the last couple of months, time gets away from me massively. I can be in the middle of a conversation with someone, literally speaking a sentence, and stop dead in my tracks and forget what I was just saying. It used to be kind of a little funny thing, ha ha ha, but now it's actually very serious. It's gotten to be a thing. So, let's see. Jason says she isn't the one to talk to. She's lost hers a long time ago. Well, honestly and truly, I had a hysterectomy summer before last, and I honestly think that it's probably because of that, and that, all of the side effects of having a hysterectomy early is probably what it is, and it's just finally catching up with me now. So, but there's surely got to be something, a vitamin or something that I'm, losing or whatever. So, yes, that's what I'm hoping for, Jason. He says her oils have helped with my memory loss from PTSD. So, I'm hoping that there's an oil out there. As she says, there's an oil for that. So, getting started, it could be either or. They say fire or emergency. It could be either or. The way that the fire department works here is that it's a volunteer fire department, which is good in a way, because it's guys that live in our neighborhood. Excuse me. Guys that live in our neighborhood. The town that we live in is more like a country community. I mean, we have an elementary school, and we have this tiny little general store thing that costs $5 for a loaf of bread, and I don't know, $8 or $9 for a gallon of milk. And we have a post office, but that's it. Yeah, we have maybe, I don't know, 150 houses, something like that. And our fire department has 15 guys. So when there's an emergency call, if it's a medical assist or the possibility of a fire, or somebody's been locked out, or in any number of things, the fire department actually gets a call. So I don't know what it is, because he left out before he even heard what it was, so I'm not sure this time. But anyway, so one of the things that oh, sorry guys, apparently I have to scroll down. So what was that? Oh, okay. Alright, Allie, thanks so much for stopping by. I tell you, it's been so long since we've done a live stream, I almost forgot how it goes. So, yeah, the farm animals. Oh, here's something that you guys didn't hear about that you're absolutely gonna love. This is like real life farm life right here. Okay, so we have our horses are all mares. Three full-size standard female horses. And then we have Buster, who is Hannah's miniature horse. He's a Shetland pony that is roughly 36 inches high, if that. And we have them separated. Their lots are separated by the goats. So we have the girls' lot, then we have the goats in the middle, and then we have Buster's lot. And we did that because, girls, boy, you get the idea. I mean, we're all at least that much in tune with farm life, right? So we get the idea of why we separated the males and the females. But, hold on, I'm plugging the phone in here because it somehow unplugged and... Uh-oh. Hold on, sorry. Did I lose you? Nope, there we are. Okay. So anyway, we had been turning the girls out now and then, and we would close the gate down at our driveway, which closes off our entire property. And we have a couple of acres for the girls to just graze on when we do that. And so we would close the gate down there and open them up and let them graze on that property. Well, that part meets up with Buster's pen. And the first time I saw Journey back there, I thought, oh, how cute, she's saying hello. Well, she was, and she was apparently flirting and showing off and flirting, turning around and you know, kind of showing off at the fence. Well, I would, you know, screech at her to go away, and she would go, and all would be well. Well, apparently she did that one day, and Buster really enjoyed it, and so after we had put them back in their pen, he proceeded to break out of his and went over to their fence. And he's really hard to catch. For a little fella, he is super fast. Like, really fast. I mean, when he runs, he looks like the TV shows with the horse's tail flying in the breeze like this. He moves so fast. His mane and tail are just like this, you know. But so every time we tried to get near him, he would take off like a rocket, and we'd have a hard time catching him. And hey, Miss Sherry, how's it going? And yes, exactly, Christy, stud muffin. So the girls' pen has it has their fence, which is the section fence, you know, and it's sturdy, and the holes are only this big, you know. And then there's a run of barbed wire across the top to keep them from pushing it down, to keep them from trying to graze on the other side of the fence or whatever. It really doesn't work, but we try. So, love you too, darling. Yes, we do need to get together. And I saw something about wool. I had messaged Miss Robin, I think, the other day and asked her if you guys actually got them sheared yet or not. So, message me on Facebook and let's plan to meet up maybe in Chattanooga or something. I don't know. But yeah, message me and let's get together. So, well, anyway, Buster had gone over to the girls' pen and had decided, now mind you, 36 inches, okay? The fence is almost 5 foot tall, and then barbed wire. So he had managed to, like, climb over the fence, but under the barbed wire. So he had wiggled in between and got into the girls' pen. Now, Fallon, my baby girl, the youngest of the bunch, has hated Buster since she was his size. She was just like a couple months old, and she hated him. They would kick each other then. And so anytime he came within reach of her, she was smooth mule kicking him, like trying to get him away, and then he's kicking back at her, and they got really aggressive with each other, and I was having a hard time figuring out how I'm going to get them separated Matt was still at work, naturally, so it was just Hannah and I. Miss Sherry says, smile, Hannah. And, it was a situation where she and I couldn't go into that pen because it got really dangerous really fast. And apparently, as much as Buster liked Journey, Journey liked Buster, and so they were circling each other and doing a love dance. And Fallon and Abby, our other mare, were trying desperately to get away from them. But every time Buster would try to corral all of them, like, hey, you're all my girls now, Fallon and Abby would have nothing to do with it, and they would go postal and start kicking and rearing back and pouncing, and it was really scary. So anyway, I thought, okay, they're just going to have to stay in there until he gets home from work, and then we'll get him, maybe a couple of the guys to come over and help us start getting everybody separated out, and maybe we can corner him and get him back. Well, what happened was I didn't think that there was an issue as far as breeding was concerned because he's tiny and they're full-sized horses. Like I said, apparently Journey really liked him too, because that little tramp was parking out so that she was low enough he could reach her, which really freaked me out. And I started screaming like a mad woman, running around out there, clapping my hands really loud and making stupid noises, trying to get their attention, which of course they didn't care about me at all at that point. And Fallon and Abby are coming over to me like, please, for the love of God, get us out of here. And it was horrible. And so I'm calling Matt, like, I am so sorry, but you have got to hurry home. I can't get them. Yeah, there was a good half hour of doing this, trying to get them to, pay attention to me long enough to buy time until he got home. So it was crazy. And then on top of it, I had a Stampin' Up class at 5 o'clock that evening, and this was at like 3:30 at this point. So, Matt gets home at 4:30, and, trying to help him out, trying to get him help, and then having to leave for my class. Like, it was insane. So, hey, Mud Pie, how's it going? Hey, Doofy. So, anyway, long story short, Matthew got home. We called a couple of the guys to come and help him. They ended up opening the pen and letting Abby and Fallon out, who were more than happy to leave quickly. They ended up getting between Buster and Journey and chasing her out. And then they had to work their way like this to the corner of a pen to trap Buster because, like I said, that bugger is fast. And so they were kind of, like you corral chickens with your arms out and walking along beside each other, trying to keep him from getting past them. So they finally got him. Well, of course, we can't just turn him back into his pen because he can get out at this point. So, we had to put him in his little stall and put a wall on it. And he was very unhappy. And in fact, he's still there. But now the wall has been replaced with an actual gate. So basically, he is a stalled pony until the fall. I had called the vet because I thought that he was more gelded than Studley, because he's what they call proud cut, which means he only has half of his manhood. And I don't really know why they do such a thing, or if it was a medical deal where maybe things didn't exist when they were doing it, or I don't know. That was all before we got him. But before this situation, he never acted like a stud. He never made any indications of being studly in any way. So I assumed that he was like a gelding. So But anyway, he's obviously not, so he's been stalled. I called the vet, and they're not interested. They're not interested in having him gelded in the summertime because of flies and things like that, you know, cause infections and whatnot. So we're waiting until the fall when it cools off a little bit, which unfortunately means that he has to be in his stall until then. So that was exciting. More excitement than I cared for. So, Mud Pie says that she loves the horse pic that we have on Facebook. That's Fallon. That's my baby. She actually has changed colors like half a dozen times, and she's only 4. I'm really not sure what color she's going to end up in her lifetime, but she started out a really dark gray. And she had, like, she looked like an Appaloosa. She was a really dark gray, and her rump was white with speckles. So, Appaloosa, right? She got a little bit older. The dapples kind of faded away a bit, and the gray faded into a light gray with a black mane and tail, and she was very pretty. And then from there, she faded into a buckskin. She was a light tan color, and she had the black mane and tail, and she was gorgeous. And then she started fading out into almost a pure white with the black mane and tail. And then Mud Pie, the pictures that you don't see on there are what she looks like now and what she looked like 6 months ago. 6 months ago, she had let her mane and tail fade out completely to white. So she was almost entirely white, and she had like black kneecaps and a gray muzzle. And now she's got more gray on her face. She's got gray on her chest. She still has her black knobby knees, but she's getting brown spots all over her, almost like one of those chocolate chip looking horses. So I have no idea what color she's actually going to end up, which is kind of cool and kind of like, I really just want you to stop now. So, there was a question about ponies and horses breeding. Yes, they can. And I don't want that. I don't want that. Can horses be blue? Yes. Yes, they can. It's called blue, but it's actually like a blue, gray, black-ish color. It's a beautiful color, actually. Yeah, it is pretty. Blue roan is the one that comes to mind right off. It's kind of like a marbly looking color. It's kind of a dark bluish grayish black. But yeah, it is very cool. It's very pretty. So anyway, that's the horsey business. The goaties are doing good. The ducks are doing okay, but for the last couple of weeks they haven't been laying very good. And I don't know if that's a heat issue or what that is. We haven't done anything different with them, and yeah, I'm thinking so too, Mud Pie. She's saying that it's hot, and I mean, that's the only explanation that it is, that it could be, is that it's hot. So, they have plenty of water. They've got their little duck pond, and, you know, so I don't know what else it could be aside from that. We checked their hut, and their enclosure, which we leave opened up for them, is actually inside the goats' enclosure. So they have free range of their area and the goats' area, which means they also have free range to their hut and the goats' hut. And so we check both huts really well to make sure that we don't have a broody hen, and we're not, you know, excuse me. My goodness. that we don't have a clutch of eggs laying around somewhere. We don't have anything like that going on. So it has to be the heat. Um, hmm? Yes. Here. So, anyway, there's that. The chickens haven't been laying as much, but they're still laying quite a bit. But of course, that's because of the heat also. And then we have the bunnies, which we've talked about already. Yeah. So we've got Josie and the 2 babies. So Hannah's still deciding what she's going to do with them. I'd like to keep one of them, but I'm not sure if we're going to. And then Hannah still has the 2 mini Rex rabbits that she got from Cherish over at Hope's Homestead. She still has those in her room. And they are messy. They make a mess of her room. But she lets them out, and she loves on them sometimes, and I love on them sometimes, and I give them treats.
Every time she comes in.
Every time I come in. So, but we've talked about getting rid of them because they don't really serve a purpose for us here. Simply because we don't have enough space to breed them and sell the babies, and that gets into a whole process that I don't know that Hannah's interested in doing, or that she's ready for yet, maybe. So, since they're her project, I really want it to be her thing. So, let's see. Yes, I am yawning. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. It really has been a long day. Christy says she's got a broody hen, but no rooster, also 1 sick. So, on the advice of a local farmer, they're all getting meds. So, that's cool. Very good. Okay, make sure you tell Celia happy birthday for us, darling. So, yes, we love you too and miss you guys. So, anyway, we've been on here for almost an hour already. It doesn't feel like it, to be honest. But we have been running ragged today. There actually was something about gardening that I wanted to talk to you guys about. In fact, I've actually put it on my little note paper here. So, this year has been so insanely busy that the garden that we had last year is not even remotely close to the garden that we have this year. The weather started out insane this year. We went straight from winter to a blazing hot summer here. And a lot of farms suffered for it. Quite a few folks that we know that do gardens, that have huge gardens, have really struggled this year, didn't do half as much, or have been struggling all the way around. It's just been a really crummy grow season. Except for the hay people, right? Because it went from freezing cold to blazing hot to a monsoon for 6 weeks. So yeah, the hay people had a fabulous harvest this year. Anyway, so we have a few tomato plants planted. The ones that are actually doing well are volunteers. We didn't do much of anything in the big garden at all. I put some stuff in the raised beds, so there's stuff in there, and that's doing good. But the big garden, we didn't plant anything in the back half of it, and it's really funny because we haven't really been on top of the weeds either. So when you go out there, there's like a big bushy something here and a big bushy something here. But what we found was volunteers of some things that actually were good. So what we have are, I don't know, 3 or 4 tomato bush vines now, because they've not been staked up. They've just been left to their own devices. So they're in a big pile of mess in the middle of the garden. But they're cherry tomatoes. And most likely from when we've thrown out a rotten tomato or whatever and just threw it out in the garden, or the birds got a hold of it or whatever. Anyway, there are several of them right there clustered up together. And then we have a watermelon, a volunteer watermelon that's out there that's growing and doing fabulously. And then we have a couple of what are they? We have a couple of runner beans that are out there. And, you know, it's an interesting thing. The tomatoes that we planted this year have been really struggling. I mean, they look bad. They look pitiful bad. But the ones that we didn't plant, that were just volunteer, that are coming up on their own, have done an absolute amazing, fabulous thing. And it's just like, I don't know, the moral of this story is plant your seed before the cold hits, and let the frost take care of everything, and then let it come up in the spring. You know, I mean, it's just like, come on! You work so hard for a garden, and it does, but Mother Nature does it on her own, and it's amazing. So, you know, yeah, Christy, exactly. I mean, it's fabulous. So, Little Creek's got watermelons growing. That's good. So, yeah, we grow tomatoes. Normally at this point we have several different varieties, but this year, with the weather having been the way it was, we planted Romas, and then the cherry tomatoes, and then that's it. So, and then we do have a few pepper plants, and they're doing okay. And we've got basil and a few things. We've got some cabbage that's struggling, but probably will make it. The strawberries are doing really well. Actually, the strawberries are not doing well, in that they're overcrowded and need to be transplanted. We built a raised bed for the strawberries to transplant to last summer, and the bed just sat empty. But Matthew just built a cover for it, and I plan to do a little video and show you guys that, because that's really cool. And we're going to transplant the strawberries in there. So I'll do a video for transplanting the strawberries and show you the cover, so that you can see that and see how we're keeping our chickens out of it and the wild birds out of it, so that we might actually get to eat some of our strawberries. Because that would be kind of nice, you know. Our grapes are growing good this year. And actually, we have a fruit orchard on one side of our property, on one side of the driveway. And last year the fruit did okay. This year it looks like they're doing really good. The cherry tree had a good harvest on it. The apples are doing really good. The pears are looking good. I'm thinking that the pears are really going to be good this year. Last year we had just a few, but they were big. This year it looks like we're going to have quite a few big ones. So we are going to be able to make some pear jam this year. The peaches are actually looking okay this year. Last year we didn't get a single peach off of the tree because it just didn't look good. But this year they're looking pretty decent, so I'm hoping that they'll be good and get ripe for us, and they can eat them because I don't like peaches. Doofy says, ever made pickled green tomatoes? No, I haven't actually. We don't grow oranges here. I'm not sure that we can. I don't think that we can here in East Tennessee. I think that we're still not quite far enough down in the tropical weather to do oranges. But right. Right. We can do peaches, we can do apples, we can do plums. We have a couple of plum trees that we planted year before last when we moved here. And we planted a couple of apple trees at that time too, and all 4 of those are doing really well. They're growing nicely. We planted 2 blueberry bushes that same year, and they're doing well. We have, let's see, last year we planted 2 blackberry bushes. This year we planted 2 more blackberry bushes and 2 more blueberries. So we have 4 blackberries and 4 blueberries. Ultimately, we would like to make a little berry vineyard at the front end of the property. The grapevines are there already. The blackberry bushes are there, so we'd like to do that. Doofy, I would love to know about a money tree. We have yet to find one of those. So, we did plant 2 fig trees though, and they're doing okay. But they're really trying to make it, but they're struggling just a little bit too from the heat. So we're having to water them and keep them going. So trying to at least get them a good start. And I think once they actually get established well, they'll be good. But, you know, it's been really, really hot since the winter. So it's been kind of rough on them. But how long has the girl in the red shirt been skateboarding? She doesn't. She has trouble walking sometimes, so we wouldn't want her to skateboard. No skateboarding involved. Nope. Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of peaches, but Hannah and Matthew both really like them, so they're okay.
I like pears more.
You like pears more? I love pears. Pears are good. So, yes, Doofy, I like plums too. So yeah, I mean, the ultimate idea, is that we are planting things here that will be sustainable, that will continually produce for us. So that if we have the fruit trees, for example, and if we have the berry vines, for example, then those things are producing every year, and then we're focusing on planting things like the tomatoes, like peppers, like corn, beans and cabbage and lettuce and all of those things, those foods, the foods that we would eat, right? And so then we're saving the seeds and we're using those seeds to plant again for the next year. And so we're trying to keep this sustainable thing going. So with that, and because our normal spring garden has just bleh, you know, it's not produce the way that we need and want it to, we're trying other things. And so one of the things that we're trying out that I'm really excited about actually, and this will be another video, but we have put 2 raised boxes in the backyard, and they're both fairly small, but they're manageable. And one of them is a 3x3 square, and it has a little trellis on the back, and the other one is a 3 foot by 6 foot, I think. So the one with the trellis has a cucumber plant that will hopefully be trained to grow up the vine, or grow up the trellis. And then it has carrots planted around it. And I literally just did this today. So I don't have, the plants starting out of the ground yet. I just put the seed in this evening. Actually, just before we came in to do the live stream. So it's fresh in my mind. But then the 3x6 box, I've planted sugar snap peas for this one because she's a bean killer and devours them just like a bug. So anyway, we've got that.
It was if our apples had more
So Doofy, the big thing that we have to worry about with our apples is two things actually. Not worms so much, but we have these huge hornet type evil things. They're massive. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're called Japanese hornets, and they're aggressive, they're hateful, they're horrible things. Yes, they are absolutely mean. Horrible, mean things. We have been trying to keep them under control, and last year was better than our first year here. So I'm hoping that means that we've got them taken care of. We haven't seen any yet this year. Yes, Mud Pie, the red ones. The great big, hateful, nasty, mean, horrible things. We generally see them about August or September. And we obviously haven't seen them yet.
I have.
You have seen some?
Yeah.
Have you really? A lot of them?
Couple.
Just a couple? Not the red wasps, but the big hornets? Ugh. I'm telling you, I don't like them.
Well, it's probably
they're the bad ones. Put mustard seeds on the ground and they will leave. Really? I mean, that's cool. I'm telling you, we're really trying hard to stay organic, but those buggers would absolutely cause me to call the exterminator. I almost did year before last. But like I said, last year was a lot fewer of them than there were the year before, so hopefully this year we won't have them as bad as we did previously. The other thing that we've had to deal with our apples is that there are a lot of cedar trees around, and so we have what's called cedar rust, and it bounces back and forth between our apple trees and the cedar trees. And unfortunately, the cedar trees are not on our property, so there's nothing we can do about them. But there is a spray that you can put on the apple trees that will kind of help intercept the spores that transfer. But if you're doing that, then you're not organic anymore. So I'm kind of having a struggle with that, trying to figure out where I want to draw the line. And ultimately, I mean, we don't want to draw a line. We want it to be organic. So we are working with our local extension office to see if there's something that they can help us come up with, that we can do to kind of help curb the rust a little bit. And because basically what's happening is that it's causing our apples, it affects the leaves first of all. It gets these little spots all over the leaves. It makes it hard for the trees to absorb all the nutrients that they need to from the sun. It causes the apples to be smaller than they normally would be. It causes them to fall off the tree sooner, so that they're not ripe yet, but they're falling off the tree and they're rotting. So it causes all of these issues, and basically what it boils down to is that we end up with, a bushel or two of apples out of a couple of trees, because that's all that we've been able to collect that actually made it to ripe stage before they fell onto the ground. So that's kind of been an issue for us that we've had to deal with. I don't think of anything else. We're working on getting an herb garden set up. Ultimately, I would like to have 2 different herb gardens, or maybe have one that just has 2 sections. But I would like to have a medicinal herb garden and then like a kitchen herb garden. So now I know a lot of those are kind of like, back and forth. You can use one for both things. So I probably will have all of them in one garden space, but we have a flower bed in the front of our house that was already here when we got here, and we've put some flowers in it, but I'm kind of trying to put some herbs in between some of those also. And so the idea of this living landscape, the edible landscape, is huge for us. We don't want to just plant random decorative stuff that we have to maintain. We like the idea of whatever we're doing here is useful for us, that it's beneficial to us. So plants that have benefits for us, plants that have benefits for the animals, things like that. That's what we're trying to focus on. So we've been trying to learn about stuff like that and doing some of that stuff. So I mean that's kind of an overall thing, huh? Mm-hmm. So that one's been kind of slow going too, because we have these herbal books and trying to remember what thing does what thing, and that's been kind of a challenge. But will horticulture oil kill rust? I'm not really sure, actually. I had thought that I had seen something about using neem oil, but then I wasn't sure that that was it. And so, like I said, we've been talking to the extension guy, and he's supposed to be checking out some things and getting back to me. So, we'll see what he comes up with, and then I'm still doing some research too. So we'll just see how it goes. Hopefully we'll come up with something. So Milky Bart Kid said, it sounds like you're doing a good job. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Christy tried planting marshmallow and catnip, but the seedlings died though. Yeah, we have that issue too. I had planted some chamomile, some purple sage, lemon balm, lavender, stevia, and that one flowering plant up front. I can't remember what it's called. But the chamomile just kind of like, it grew up real tall, it got flower, and then it just died off. And the same thing with the purple sage. It never even got very big. It just kind of got like this. But I have some sage that, I don't know, grows wild or was planted eons ago or whatever around the front of our fence. And so that's there already naturally. Like I said, Mother Nature plants it, and it's wonderful. I've also been doing some research on some of our natural forage type plants that are growing all over the place, and I absolutely love Queen Anne's lace, and it's a weed out here. I mean, it grows everywhere. And I have seen that there are some benefits to that. So, I'm checking on that sort of thing. And I'm thinking that I'm going to have to just come up with a notebook that is specifically for herbs or wild forage or whatever. I'm not really sure how I'm going to organize it or whatever. But I want it to be things that are related just to our homestead. The extension guy had told me that he would come here and he'll walk around the property with us and help us identify plants that we don't know, and talk to us about that sort of thing, which I think is so cool. So if you are interested in doing that, I've been told that every extension office, agriculture extension office in the country will do that sort of thing for you, and it doesn't cost anything. So, in fact, I mean, they want you to do it because they don't get utilized as often as they hope for. So, go check out your extension office in your area, because they're an incredible wealth of information. They can help you out with a lot of stuff. Ours hosts a lot of classes, and I know that a lot of others do too, so I'm sure that you could find all sorts of cool stuff. Little Creek says she's sticking with Baker Creek seeds next year. The other place she got them, nothing grew. Where did you get your other seeds from? I really like Baker Creek. I used, was he the seed guy on eBay last year? Which sounds kind of weird and hokey, but he actually had some really good stuff, and I had an incredible germination rate with his stuff. I mean, it was all really good, wasn't it? So, let me make sure it was the seed guy. I have one of his bags in here, I think. Maybe I do. Oop. Heirloom Seed Guy. Heirloom Seed Guy is his name. He puts them in little Ziploc baggies like this. And he doesn't really give you a whole lot of information on how to grow them on the package, but there's information on the page. And then, of course, if you know what you're looking for, then you can just search what the growing information is. Christy says the best growing seed I got this year was from the feed store. Absolutely. The co-ops are there for a reason. We should utilize them, you know? Our little co-op doesn't do the bulk feeding, like the bulk grain, where you can do your own blend of feeds and stuff. So we have to buy individual bags of stuff and then blend them together ourselves. So, like for our goats and the poultry, we make our own mix. We make our own blends of stuff. No, she is not at least 18, Samuel. She is my 14-year-old child. So, be careful, friend. Yes, too young. Very much too young. Thank you, Christy. No, please don't hit on me either. Okay, well, there we go. We'll just take care of that. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. I don't have any moderators on here today, so there we go. I got that taken care of. Sorry. Anyway. Yes, bye, dude. So, what were we talking about? That kind of threw me off a little. Anyway, seeds, co-op. We blend ours. We have to buy individual bags of stuff, like we buy black oil sunflower seeds, for example, and cracked corn, and oats. And so we get individual bags of stuff, and then we mix it all up, and then we feed that way. But in Knoxville, one of their co-ops has bulk food where you can just make your own assortment right there and mix it all into like a 50-pound bag, which is fabulous, but then it costs me more in the drive over and back than it does to just buy the individual bags. So I'm not gaining anything, and I'm putting wear and tear on my vehicle. So that's kind of one of those things where you have to weigh out the pros and cons, and is it actually more beneficial to you, or does it just seem like it, you know? So anyway, we do that, and our co-op does have all the stuff that we need, so I mean it works out for us. But if we happen to be in Knoxville, which is oh so rare, then we could go and do that. But I'm kind of a creature of habit, and when we have a feed that works, we stick with it. So, you know. But anyway, we've been on here for an hour and a half now, and we really appreciate those of you who are still hanging out with us. I think we've pretty well covered pretty much everything that's been going on lately. It's hotter than Hades outside. We don't like that. The animals don't like that. The plants don't like it. We're ready for fall, but not winter. Right? No, not Christmas. I'm not ready for Christmas. I'm not even ready to think about Christmas. You shut up. She's counting down to Christmas.
5 months.
So, yeah. So the last thing I guess that I wanted to visit with you guys about was just my Stampin' Up! Business stuff. I haven't done any crafty things or anything like that on our channel because I kind of felt like maybe that really wasn't related to homesteading stuff. And we've tried really hard to keep this channel totally pure, so to speak, for homesteading. And you know, of course we talk about things that are going on with us a little bit, but we really try to keep it related. And so I haven't done any of my crafting stuff on here, but I really want to. I really want to do some crafting stuff. So I'm curious to know what you guys think about that. If you'd like to see some crafting stuff, if I can technically get away with it on this homesteading channel, or if I should just start a whole new channel just for crafting stuff. So, you know. Little Creek says, have missed you. So of course I'm hanging out with you. I love it. Thank you so much. Christy says, do it. Alright. Okay, guys. Well, listen. We're going to go ahead and say goodnight because I know it's getting late. But I will do some crafting stuff. Actually, I have a little program that I really want to talk to you guys about. It's called Paper Pumpkin. I think that you guys are really going to like it. It's a lot of fun. So I'll do a little video and I'll talk to you guys about that. And then we will do the video on the gardening experiment out back because I think that that's important. That's definitely homesteading important because it's a couple of raised boxes that has the beans, the carrots, and the cucumbers. So they're all three in these boxes together. They're in a small space. They're planted close together. It's really not square foot gardening. It's really not traditional gardening. So it's a total experiment. I literally just planted them this evening, and according to all of the rules, I'm not supposed to plant peas right now because it's too early for fall and too late for spring. But I want to put some shade cloth up there and see if I can wean them through the hot summertime so that maybe we can actually get some summertime peas, and then they should harvest in time for me to plant for the fall planting. So if this works out, then we will have figured out how to do 3 plantings of snow peas or snap peas, which is ideal for her because she loves them. So you guys stay tuned for that. And then I will do a video on our strawberry transplant and show you the cage for that. So you guys are going to want to see that. So I promise that we're actually going to be getting back on track with the videos and stuff again and trying to get them posted more regular again like we were before we kind of went on hiatus. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for sticking around and waiting for us to come back. I know it's been a little while since we've put out a video, but we really appreciate y'all. So thank you guys so much. Yeah, Doofy, I'm sorry, but it's, midnight here, I think. Or pretty close to it. Yes, please subscribe. We'd love to have you. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock at night here. So, anyway, we'll see you guys later. And until next time, have a good night. Bye. Oop, sorry.